So after getting your technical drive done on the Tail of the Dragon, drop down onto Route 28, also known as Hellbender. Here you can get a little more speed and enjoy the view on this 22-mile drive. Hey everyone, this is Andy, founder of RS Xperience and professional performance car rally driver, sharing amazing drives, technical drive tips, car gear, and stories from amazing people who share my passion for fast cars. The Hellbender is part of Moonshiner 28 in North Carolina and is a really enjoyable short ride with a great blend of hills, sweeping corners, and stunning scenery. Hellbender actually runs 22 miles. This particular section is about 8, and with a lot of my friends, we return to as Hellbender. So here we are starting, we're heading west to east, and this is the beginning of Hellbender here. This road has some open sweeping turns, like you can see here, seeing the road in the distance, you have some really good tight lines, but then you have some really sharp turns. We have to get on the brakes, gently release, back to the gas. Some of them you could just do a slight breathe of the gas as you go into the turn. And here you can feel kind of this rhythm building here. It's really, I mean, this road is fun. There's a little bit of downhill here at the beginning of the ride, but for the most part, this ride is pretty flat. Through the trees, you might see poking through on the right side is Stecoah Lake, runs along the right side of the road. So here's a sharp turn coming in, and then we're right back to the left again. Again, the guy, a friend who was behind me here on this road, he and I were kind of pulling away from the rest of the crowd. We got ourselves into a nice rhythm, and I don't think we ran into any traffic on this section of the road. So here, you can listen to the car here. Gets like a little dizzying, especially when you watch that top section of the video here. So anyway, you just like it looks like I'm playing a loop, right, where it's just over and over again. But so then you get these nice runs here, and you can see all the way down. Okay, little jig to the right there, and then it's gonna come back around to the left, right? It's kind of predictable in a way, right? If I'm going around the left, chances are somewhere up ahead there's a turn to the right. That's pretty much the way these roads are. And as I shared in an earlier video, you can always have your nav system up and be looking at a map so you can see what the road is going to do ahead. The thing here is you really got to pay attention to the road. You really can't sight see. I mean, you're looking in front of you. As you could see through the trees, we're catching up there was another group in front of us, so we're going to start catching up to the back of that group. You can see them up ahead. So here it's important for me to get on my radio and alert the groups behind me that traffic ahead, we're slowing down. So as those people are coming up behind the white car, they're not going to be going, full tilt, knowing that there's traffic ahead and they're going to be stopping. So there's a couple things you can do here when you come up on traffic, whether it's your group, another group in front of you, or just somebody else on the road, is you can back it way down. Like, literally you could go like 10, 15 miles an hour. The key here, though, if you're going to do that for safety, is you really got to get the car who's in the tail of your group to be watching over, their rear view mirror, and then basically giving a call out, letting us know, is there someone behind you? If the answer is yes, we keep moving. If no one's behind them, then you can slow way down. Sometimes, I know people are probably going to have strong opinions about this. Sometimes you can stop, but you have to have someone in the back looking over the shoulder, looking for oncoming traffic. And then when that traffic appears, right, you got to move, you got to take off. So here we're slowing way down. You can tell I'm trying to let that group get in front of us, and then the group is beginning to catch up behind. You can see some cars coming around the bend there and catching up. So we're just going to take it easy here for a little bit, let them get ahead, and then I'll get back on the radio and let folks know, okay, I'm picking up the pace And then people know that kind of the slack, it's like a train, right? As cars start pulling away, the slack, the space between the cars increase, and then folks can start picking it up again. Hellbender runs from Deal's Gap to just where 28 opens back up into a 4-lane highway. There's like a general store, a country store right there, but be careful where that opens up is where sometimes local law enforcement tends to be hanging out there. But Moonshiner 28 itself runs from basically Deal's Gap motorcycle resort all the way down to Walhalla, South Carolina. I mean, it's like 103 miles. It runs through Highlands and then North Carolina, then runs south through into South Carolina. And I believe in the latter section in South Carolina, it actually runs along what they refer to as the Eastern Continental Divide, which means that on the east side, all the water drains to the Atlantic Ocean, and on the west side, all the water drains to the Gulf of Mexico. That's what the Eastern Continental Divide is, and 28 runs right along that as you're going south from Highlands down to Walhalla, South Carolina. Obviously, Moonshiner 28, it gets its name. Years ago, this part of the country had tons of distilleries and local moonshiners, back, Prohibition, weren't supposed to be doing that stuff. Well, they were doing it up and down this road, and they would also, get on, back then I'm sure it was a dirt road or not very well paved, they would get on the road and, outrun law enforcement. So that's some of the history on the road there. All right, are we ready to go, guys? I think I finally say, yeah, let's pick up the pace, let's get moving again, and you'll start seeing the gaps. Oh, I just love these turns here. It's just a ton of fun, and I think I have a group of friends I come up here with probably, at least 4 times a year. This is a run we all love to do. In fact, there's days in the summer with the longer daylight that we'll eat dinner, and then after dinner we're like, who wants to go do a run on Hellbender really quick? And everybody's hands go up all the time. Everybody's up, yep, want to go run Hellbender, want to go do that. There's a group of Porsches going the other way. It was part of the same group we were with. This was part of the Rennsport Dragon Rally back in October. Yeah, it was a good time. Again, I think over to the right, every now and then you could see Cheoah Lake poking through. So picking up a good pace here, going along. You can see it's flat. You don't see a lot going on here. I'll be quiet, listen to the cars. So you can see here, we're catching up to the group in front of us again, right? I saw them up ahead. So again, right to the radio, letting the folks behind me know that we're going to be slowing down to let those guys get ahead a little bit here. This particular day was one of the nicer days we were down there. We did get a bit of rain, but this was early in the morning as we're heading down we're going to take 28 all the way down into Franklin, and then we're going to loop down. This may have been a day we were going to loop down to Hendersonville, North Carolina, I think was the ongoing route. So there you can see the group. Everybody's kind of queuing up behind. We're slowing down. Again, there's a radio call out to the car in the back to let us know if there's any traffic coming up behind them. And as long as it's clear, then we'll just slow down. You know, we're probably doing, I don't know, whatever, 10, 15 miles an hour. We'll just slow it down, build a gap, and then we'll pick up a little bit. At this point here, I don't think there's a lot left to the drive. Again, this section of road is like 8 miles, so it doesn't take very long to get through this particular section. Okay, here we go, picking up the pace. All right, this is just a lot of fun. There are a couple of bumps in here on these flat areas where the car like gets a little unsettled because you kind of bounce. I would love to get a photographer on the ground taking a photo down low of the car, because it just feels like at some point, at least 2, I don't know about all 4 wheels off the ground, but you get this hop going and it feels like the wheels are off the ground. Awesome ride. Coming up to the end there was the boat ramp to the right. There's this huge rock cliff off to the left here, which is really kind of cool. And then we come around the bend. There's a road to the left there for the Fontana Basin, and then we're crossing the bridge over Cheoah Lake. And then that section of road after the bridge, which is down there in the lower right on the map. Now we're getting into the rest of Hellbender all the way down to where it opens up into a 4-lane highway. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's been great having you along with me for this drive around Hellbender in the world famous Smoky Mountains. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, please subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, and give me a thumbs up. And stay tuned. We've got another short series like this of a few more videos where I'm going to talk through some of the roads in the Smoky Mountains. All right, everyone. We'll talk soon. Stay healthy and stay safe.